at this point. But let's take the conversation further now. We see the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, they recently unveiled a crypto sprint that's enabling spot crypto trading contracts on registered futures exchanges using existing authority. And that's supposed to be working in tandem with the SEC's Project Crypto. The initiative aims to fast-track implementation of President Trump's digital assets roadmap and solidify the U.S. as a crypto regulatory hub. Well, joining us to discuss this now, we have Ololade Babalola as the founder in Endura Labs. Joining me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show.
Hi, Letty. Great to be here again.
Yeah, so how will the responsibilities be divided, that's between the CFTC and the Securities and Exchange Commission in the U.S. under this new proposed scheme?
I wouldn't say everything is worked out yet, but definitely they'll be working hand in hand. There's plans to make sure, from like a futures trading standpoint, the CFTC might take the charge on that. But I think the underlying thing here is that the U.S. has become more pro-crypto versus what the administration before, and I hate to bash folks, but it was very obvious how anti-crypto Gary Gensler and the previous administration was. So the fact that we are in this place where the US is open, but being careful and inviting regulators into what this journey is going to look like is a step in the right direction.
All right, so what legal authority does the CFTC, what do they already have, when it comes to regulation, for spot trading? And where might the SEC authority overlap?
I definitely know that with respect to the regulation, the SEC still will be the prime voice with respect to regulation, but the SEC spans a lot of other things, but with the CFTC, it's going to be, the focus areas are going to be like DeFi regulation, stable coins, market surveillance, and I think the last element might be cross-border coordination. And like I said, there is going to be a handshake. So it's not like the CFTC is just running solo on their own, trying to enforce or come up with policies without the SEC's involvement. So I think the CFTC tries to figure stuff out. We've had horrible situations in the past where some DeFi protocols have been criminalized. In this situation, we're moving to a world where it becomes, let's get policy people in the room. Let's understand I'll give an example of maybe like privacy protocols. Tornado Cash was one where the founder might have been in court. If not, don't judge them, quote me here, but maybe prison at some point because it's a protocol that masks transactions here and there. But with at least the government, the CFTC, the SEC involved in this conversation, we know that the government is going to try to understand what protocols are supposed to do and how oversight can be put in place without stifling innovation.
Right, and you did mention Tornado Cash there. Is that still trading? I know they had a lot of issues before.
So legally, I believe the last time I checked, charges were dropped. So from a trading standpoint, being in the US, and based on the previous administration, I definitely veered and stayed off of Tornado Cash because of everything that was going on. And sometimes you don't want to touch things because I think with crypto is very interesting. The US has regulations that have to do with like blacklisted countries, and you didn't want to be involved with protocols that people from those countries also mess with, because once it's on the blockchain and somebody can just mess with you and send something from such an address to your address and you just become involved. But the charges, to the best of my knowledge, were dropped. And from a trading standpoint, I can't categorically say Tornado Cash is back on exchanges or trading right now. In the DeFi world, probably might be, but I don't know if on centralized exchanges, if it's back on.
Exactly, yeah. So much to unpack there. Definitely a lot of regulation coming out at this time. But thank you so much, Ololade Babalola, the founder, Endura Labs. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, Letty.